what would your advice be to the beginning podcaster who's trying to get ready to launch this thing?
I would say your very first step is going to be setting your podcast niche, choosing your podcast niche.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of new podcasters, I should say that in general, people are beautiful, multifaceted, multi-passionate people, as we all should be. However, when we're going into the podcast world, when we're going into creating content for people, people are seeking certain information from a podcast. They still have a certain hobbies and passions and excitements that they want to hear about in a podcast. So a perfect example would be, let's say there's a 40-year-old woman who is getting into strength training. She's going to want to find a podcast community that's speaking to her directly, that's talking about her pains, her woes, her challenges, her excitements, her wins, her successes, and all of those things that everybody in that community can relate to. So I know it seems, the first instinct is to say, oh, I just want to create a podcast about everything that I love. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. I love multi-passionates, but I think in the case of creating your first podcast, it will help you immensely if you choose a niche, if you choose a target listener that you feel really strongly about, that you really want to serve, and make it about them.
I love that you said that, because one of the clients I was working with earlier this year, they have this thing that they do called WIFM. And I was like, what in the world is WIFM? But basically it's the what's in it for me. When a person is listening to a podcast or reading a blog post or whatever it is that they're consuming, they're wanting to know what's in it for me. So I'm thrilled that you basically put it the way that you did, that you're niching down because the person who's coming to your podcast, they're coming for a specific reason. So, and I love that you said your first podcast should be that specific niche, because you can always start another one.